Profiler Tones and Talks, Season 2, Episode 15. We're traveling back quite a while to one gentleman who started a lot of things for us and for many others. And to get an idea what this is about, here's the video. So a classic, unbelievable how long ago this is, and this is still played sometime, somewhere, every night, at a club or at homes. It's really amazing. Mr. Ritchie Blackmore, he influenced so many people and created and defined an entire genre, so to say. And when he was with Deep Purple, they did this track, Smoke on the Water, of course. He had already a very interesting career behind him. And this transformation from a kind of bluesy guitar player to this real mad wizard was quite interesting. And then, of course, after Deep Purple, there was Rainbow, and then there was a little bit of Deep Purple, and then I think from Deep Purple, then he went completely to his medieval stuff, or did he go to Rainbow again?
No. Today, these days. So it was Deep Purple, left Deep Purple, formed Rainbow. Mm-hmm. Then
went back to Deep Purple for two records, I think.
2 records, and then formed Blackmore's Night.
Okay.
Played the Castles with acoustic guitar in leather boots and everything.
Yeah, and the hat and.
His
wife with green sleeves. And
it's interesting, really interesting.
Absolutely.
But it's the same as the Night Watchman with Tom Morello. Everybody wants to see Tom Morello, and we want to hear Ritchie Blackmore playing the electric guitar. But they are all artists, and it's okay if you need to go further on. It's like Robert Plant doing bluesy Americana stuff and don't want to sing Led Zeppelin songs. So, okay.
Yes, of course. And I don't know. I just know some YouTube stuff from Blackmore's Night, and every once in a while he's doing these little things, because I think his trillers, the tapping has been always so, I don't know, it's so weird. It's a tone, it's so liquid and so fast. Yeah. And he still does that also on the acoustic guitar. Not mentioning what he did then when he came back with Rainbow, which was a little bit so-so, but the singer was amazing. He found Ronnie Romero, who was doing the Ronnie James Dio stuff, really something good. So, but regardless, we are 35 years back in the late 60s, or no, what, 70, 71, when he came out with that genre-defining riff. And you know all about that.
Yeah,
a lot about that.
A lot, maybe a lot. I'm not. I just found out from my research stuff. There are absolutely experts on Blackmore's tone, and if you need to know all the weird stuff, BSM, Bernd Meiser, a German guy, he has built some treble boosters and stuff, and on his website you get the nitty gritty, detailed, as we call Erbsenzählerei in a positive way, on all Blackmore tone and stuff like that. So I have just the essence of it prepared here, because we can talk about 2 hours on the topic. Okay, starting with some song facts for those who don't know. The song is Smoke on the Water. You might heard that. And the band Deep Purple, the composers are all 5 of them: Blackmore, Gillan, Glover, Lord, and Pace. So the Mark II Deep Purple album, you see it, Machine Head, and the release was 1972. It was recorded at the Grand Hotel in Montreux with the Rolling Stones mobile studio. So they wanted to record this album at the Montreux Casino, as a live performance, or to get more live feeling as in the studio. And one day before they wanted to start at a Frank Zappa gig, the casino burned down, and that's what the lyrics of the song Smoke on the Water are about. And on the album Machine Head, producers were Deep Purple. The album, there were really, you said it, genre creating songs like Highway Star, Lazy, and Space Trucking. So really classic recording. You need to know that album. And the guitars. He is famous for using Fender Stratocaster models in his Deep Purple and Rainbow eras. But before that, he used, and in the first years of Deep Purple, he used Gibson ES 335. And this is it in Cherry Red, used from 64 to 70, and he recorded Child in Time on the Deep Purple in Rock album in 1970. And of course, Wring That Neck, a really nice instrumental stuff. And he, it wasn't from the factory with the Bixby tremolo, he installed that Bixby on that guitar. So coming to, here's another picture of the Cherry Red ES, and coming to the Strats. He started in 1970 when they recorded Deep Purple in Rock, started using Strats, and he got one from Eric Clapton's roadie, I think, but it was a Strat with a tally neck. And there are pictures where you see Eric Clapton playing a tally with a Strat neck. Maybe he changed some stuff and gave the bad things to the roadie, and he sold it to Ritchie Blackmore. And he talked about that this guitar wasn't really playable, and he bought, I think in 1970, bought one, a 68 Strat. And this is a black one, and they all had the large headstock and maple neck. So that was his first. The second,
But wait, just to be correct, maybe, when was Fender sold to CBS? I thought 69.
I think. I don't really know exactly.
And then a 68 Strat could not have a big headstock, or did Leo already start with a big headstock? I'm just asking. I don't know. I was just wondering. Okay, this is for you guys out there.
Every expert.
Can that be? Because I thought CBS started with the big headstocks, and that until 69 there was the small one. But
I think in the production they had some big headstock stuff, and maybe some of the rare. But write some comments and tell us how it was correctly. So that's what I found out on some pages in the World Wide Web. So then, I think this is true then. The 71 Strat he used for the Machine Head recording sessions, a Sunburst Strat, also with maple neck. And the neck was broken later because he has really heavy abuse on his guitars and smashed some guitars. And then the headstock on that Sunburst Strat looked like an Ibanez headstock later on. And another guitar, that was the guitar he used at the end, at the last years with Deep Purple, is a natural finished ash Strat. And on that, you can't see it on that picture on the right. And here, I think even not two, but he started using scalloped fretboards. So he did that by himself. And yeah, just for his play feel and stuff on that. And these days, at the end of the Deep Purple era, he had these scalloped fretboard Strat. And another famous one is the white Strat. And here you see on the left picture, it's white scallop, the fretboard. And he said it was easier to scallop the rosewood fretboards because that didn't need re-lacquering as the maple fretboards. So it was better to work with. And another special thing on that guitar is it has a dummy coil in the middle position. So he only uses neck pickup or bridge pickup and no middle pickup and also no middle positions at all. And this Olympic white Strat is used, what I found out from 1980, but he had a white 74 Strat when he started with Rainbow. Maybe it was this guitar already, but with other pickups. I don't know. Some people might know. So, but what I know is that this is the Ritchie Blackmore Fender Signature Strat, and it has SSL 4 Seymour Duncan pickups on the neck and bridge position, and here in the middle, the dummy coil. Okay, coming to amps. In the early days, he used AC30s and Marshall SLP 100. At the main years with Deep Purple, he switched to a Marshall Major. This is similar to SLP 100, but just with 200 watts. So yeah, I have an SLP 100 here behind me, and this is ridiculous loud. But 200 watts, Abe, I don't want to be in the rehearsal room when he plays these 200 watts heads. Okay, in the 90s, late 90s, he started working with Engel, the German company, and he had made a Ritchie Blackmore signature head, which is based on the Savage that he used before, and Marshall 4x12 caps in the Deep Purple era and the Engel 4x12 caps later on. Here's the Marshall Major behind him. 200 watt, I said it already, and KT66 power amp tubes. Here's a picture of one from him. Interesting, so they have the controls of a Marshall Plexi, the SLP 100, 4 inputs. You can bridge these inputs, and it has a polarity switch on the left. I think it's made special for him. It was that's what I read, a ground lift, maybe to reduce hum when he's using 2 amps, because he stacked 2 or 3 amps together. This is really ridiculous loud then. But for open airs, maybe they they don't need him on the PA system then. Okay, here's a picture of the Ritchie Blackmore signature head. And I said it, a Savage is the base thing on that amp, but he This amp has less controls and it has only a clean and overdrive channel. So that's what he needed for this era. And effects. He used a Hornby Scoos treble booster, Solar Sound tone bender, Wham Watkins copycat echo, and an AVA tape recorder. The tone bender was used in the first years of Deep Purple, just to create a little bit of more distortion, like Jimmy Page used, and I think Jeff Beck used one too in these late 60s, 70s era. This is a picture of the Hornby Scoos treble booster. Nothing to control, just boost or normal off. That's all, and he used that pedal on the Machine Head recordings, what I found out. The Wham Watkins copycat echo is a tape echo machine that he used for delay sounds when he made his violin stuff. And the Iva tape recorder, this is a really tape recorder which was modified by him just for delay effects, and he used it from 1974, I think, and the preamp is very interesting. It adds more gain, and sometimes he used that particular Iva recorder just without the tape, only for the preamp to get more gain on his amp sounds.
But that was it started with the Rainbow Years.
Since You've Been Gone. So that, not with the song Since You've Been Gone.
No. He had it. He had it already on Rising, and on the tour, which is actually old man. My first proper concert.
Yeah, you saw that?
Was 1976, and my mom drove a school buddy and me to Essen, in the Ruhr area, to the Grugerhalle, where Rainbow played.
Oh.
And that was with Bob Daisley on bass and how was his name? Mark Stone or something on keyboards. So it was not the original Rising setup, but that was the same tour where later the famous WDR Rockpalast video was shot in Munich, where he just escaped the Austrian police because he had kicked a bouncer in the face 2 nights before in Vienna. If you know that story.
I don't want to know that.
Yeah, that was legendary. And that's when he was using that the tape machine. It was sitting next to his stack for delays and for boosting.
Yeah. So okay, vintage stuff, and now coming to the more modern stuff to recreate the legendary Machine Head tone. And I will switch over to the rig manager. Here we are. And you see there is a noise gate at the first module, then a pure booster turned off, the treble booster, amp cap, studio EQ now on with a high cut and a low cut to match the frequency range of the guitar speaker, and a little bit of cut of the high frequencies at 2.7K. Natural reverb for room sound, and that's all. So this is the tone. This is the tone from the Legends Tribute Collection Rig Pack. And for the video, I did some smart modifications on that tone, because we have now the possibility to choose another tone stack. And of course, I took a tone stack of the Marshall Plexi, the Bright channel. And I need to watch here. on my paper, yeah, I turned the middle up and to 8. And the presence turned down to 4, just to get a little bit warmer tone. So this is the sound. Maybe, so starting just from scratch, the amp sounds that way. Really, yeah, warm and not so crisp, harsh as normally the plexi sound. And with the treble booster on, you get all these treble sound. The tone is turned up. The mix level is not all the way up. It's at 45%, something that you can't do with a treble booster at all. But I did that just because you can't recreate this originally tone. You need to work with the tools that you have. So I took that one, took the tone all the way very much up then to 6.4 and the mix level down. I will show you how it sounds with mix level at 100. So this is too harsh for me.
Yeah, this is a little bit over.
The alternative would be turn the tone down. But that's not nice. You know, I really like to have this treble boosts, this boost in the higher frequency range. So the other thing is turn the mix level down, make some parallel stuff on that, and to create this this sound and feeling. So that sounds way better for me. So next thing is the natural reverb. As I said, just room sound. 1.3 seconds, room size at 2.5. They didn't have big rooms at the Monterey Crown Hotel, so the room size is a little bit smaller. A little bit of pre-delay and the mix level really low, 15.7%. A high cut at 3K, so with a high all the way up, it would sound like that. With a high cut at 3000, you get a more warmer tone. So the walls are, how would you say, muffled to not to have these harsh reflections. Okay, noise gate just for the high gain sounds, threshold at 3.4, and this is it, I think, on that tone. And you can take the delay on. I can't have played that fast as Ritchie did. I'm not doing that with the volume pedal. Lazy bastard that I am. But yeah, these are the main tones, and everything beside that is in the fingers, in the style of the player. And for me, it's important to have this bass tone where you can get everything. So that means you have this high gain distorted tone, getting a more aggressive sound with a bridge pickup. So he's I said it before, he's the master of the fourth. his riffs all with fourth. And another interesting thing is to get that tone. I think he played Smoke on the Water, picked the riff picked. Or maybe with an upstrokes. And this is very interesting.
Okay.
You hear absolute the difference between playing these riffs with upstrokes and downstrokes. So with downstrokes, let me show you. Upstrokes. So the higher string is more present when you play with upstrokes, and he plays a lot with upstrokes. This is really interesting, but you need some tool to produce that so that you can really hear the difference between playing with a finger, playing downstrokes, playing upstrokes. So this is, for me, this profile is really nice. Oh, the profile was, just forgot, from Michael Britt's Rig Pack, Super Lead 100 from 1970. It's here. You find that in Michael Britt's Rig Pack. And did I forget something? Yeah, the pure booster.
I was about to ask that. Did you boost a little bit more for the solo, or
yes?
Not.
Yes, a little bit. I think I boosted it. Yeah, to get this. To get a little bit more fat tone. So this pure booster is something compared to the Ivar tape recorder. It has a little bit of boost. You might turn it up a little bit more. So you get that tone, and maybe working with the knobs on the guitar, turn the sound on the machine head recording is really very warm. So not that something what you associate with Marshall Plexi, harsh Marshall Plexi sounds. It's really warm sounding. Maybe they've cut out some high frequencies in the mixing desk. I don't really know. And because the overall recording sounds really warm, not with that modern high frequency sounds that we're using these days.
Do you know the BBC documentary about the Machine Head album and the making? It somehow went away from the YouTubes at some point, but I found that there are some sneaky people who recorded that and brought it back, because you have Roger Glover sit at a mixing desk and bring up the single tracks of the Machine Head recordings, and there you can exactly hear what you just said, because one track, because that's this amazing riff, Pictures of Home, is on there, I think, again as well. And when he brings that up, you hear that warm, full, but yet distorted, but very defined tone of Ritchie Blackmore's guitar there. And it's so amazing because that doesn't sound like anything else you would expect from a Strat, especially from that era. It's just amazing. So find that on YouTube. It's classic albums, BBC, Machine Head, and there are some people just ripped it and re-uploaded it because BBC took it away.
As you said, classic albums. I didn't had it with BBC. I think I have a DVD of classic albums. I know that. And Another thing is when you try to dial in that tone, less gain is better. And what you hear when you hear the riff. When I recreate that song, I was starting to make this rig and to make this sound. I was starting with a little bit too much gain, because I listened to the recording and it's a really growling overdrive sound created by Ritchie Blackmore and John Lord with an overdrive organ. Mm-hmm. And this is the key to it. When you listen to the guitar separated, it doesn't have that much gain. I think the organ has maybe more gain than the guitar, and they are so close together, and this creates this great sound. And this is I think the key for the tone of Deep Purple. All these stuff. So the distorted organ which doubles the guitar tone. In newer days, we have two guitar players playing with less gain, creating a huge sound. But in these days, they were made by organ and a great guitar player and a great organ player too. So yeah, this is it too. So take less gain and play a little bit louder, maybe.
Yeah, right. Play a little bit louder, because then you automatically, even with less gain, you get more sustain, because you know your amp is stimulating the guitar, and that's what these guys in that era had. They just had to do it. They had a very distinct way of attacking the string, how they pick the string, and then with the vibrato, and you know, of course, with the help of the volume of the amp, to increase the amount of sustain that guitar would normally give. Because if you pick and do nothing, it goes away pretty quickly. But if you keep the string a little bit ringing by just scratching up and down the fret, you can make the sustain a little bit longer. And they really had to work it, because there was nothing else to get some more sustain.
Just play. Sounds boring. Just a little bit out of tune, but moving your fingers is the key to everything, to create some more sustain, and to create some personality. Doesn't need to be fast. It can be slow. Just like everybody wants. And this is the great thing on playing guitar. You can sound unique.
Yes, indeed.
Jeff Beck, Ritchie Blackmore. Who else played? Clapton played, at that era, Marshall amps, but just the guys with, Hendrix, of course.
Paul Kossoff, free also.
But with Les Paul, the Strat.
That's true, yeah. All the Strat guys, okay.
Strat guys with Marshall plexis. Yeah, these three. Totally different and absolutely great. And it's just the same stuff.
Yeah.
So, and in the Legends Tribute collection, you will find this Michael Britt 70s Marshall on different sounds, on Beck sound, and I think on Jimmy Page sound too. So it's the amp that they were using these days, and it sounds great. And if you have a great profile which does all that stuff and reacts great, you're done.
Yeah, right. So again, and now especially with this one, try this at home and work it. Baby, work it. that it rings and sounds and sustains, and yeah, even crank it up a bit, because also the profiler reacts quite good with a little bit more volume, and you get the guitar singing a little bit longer for you. So yeah, try this at home. Check out the Legends Tribute Rick collection created by Thomas Dill, all the videos performed by Thomas Dill, and all this information for us brought together by Thomas Dill. Thank you so much, and thanks for being with us again here. And yeah, we'll see you next time, and say bye for now.
Bye.